Define active transport. ANS. Active transport is the movement of molecules from an area of lower concentration to the area of higher concentration. This movement against the concentration gradient requires energy in the form of ATP. Define cell. ANS. The structural and functional unit of living organisms is known as cell. It is the basic unit of organization of all organisms. What is cell membrane? ANS. All prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells have a thin and elastic membrane covering the cytoplasm. Chemical analysis reveals that it is mainly composed of proteins and lipids with small quantities of carbohydrates. It functions as a semi-permeable barrier, allowing a very few molecules across it. Write salient features of cell theory. ANS. It was presented by Schleiden and Schwann. The salient features of cell theory are: 1. All organisms are composed of one or more cells. 2. Cells arise only by divisions in previously existing cells. 3. Cells are the smallest living things, the basic unit of organization of all organisms. Give composition of cell wall. ANS. The cell wall is a non-living strong component of the cell and it is located outside the plasma membrane. Plant cells have a variety of chemicals incorporated in their cell wall. It provides shape, strength, protection, and support to the inner living matter, protoplasm, of the cell. Define centriole. ANS. Animals and many unicellular organisms have hollow and cylindrical organelles known as centrioles. Their function is to help in formation of spindle fibers during cell division. In these cells that contain cilia and flagella, centrioles are involved in the formation of cilia and flagella. What is chloroplast? ANS. Chloroplast is a type of plastid bound by a double membrane. It is found in plant cells. Chloroplasts are the sites of photosynthesis in eukaryotes. They contain chlorophyll, the green pigment necessary for photosynthesis. What is chromoplast? ANS. Chromoplast is a type of plastid in plant cell. They contain pigments associated with the bright colors and are present in the cells of flower petals and fruits. Their function is to give color to their parts and thus help in pollination. What is connective tissue? ANS. Connective tissue typically has cells scattered throughout an extracellular matrix. Connective tissue serves a connecting function. It supports and binds other tissues. What is cytoplasm? ANS. Cytoplasm is defined as the material between the plasma membrane, cell membrane, and the nuclear envelope. It is a semi-viscous and semi-transparent substance. The cytoplasm of all the cell provides space for proper functioning of the organelles and also acts as the site for various biochemical reactions. Differentiate between diffusion and osmosis. ANS. Diffusion. Diffusion is the net movement of a substance from an area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration, i.e., along concentration gradient. Osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane from a solution of lesser solute concentration to a solution of higher solute concentration. What is endoplasmic reticulum? ANS. It is a network of interconnected channels that extends from cell membrane to the nuclear envelope. It has two types, rough ER and smooth ER. RER serves a function in protein synthesis while SER involved in lipid metabolism and in the transport of materials from one part of the cell to the other. It also detoxifies the harmful chemicals that have entered the cell. Define epithelial tissue. ANS. Epithelial tissue covers the outside of the body and lines organs and cavities. The cells in this types of tissues are very closely packed together. Epithelial tissue helps to protect the inner parts, movement of materials, and make secretions. Define facilitated diffusion. ANS. It is a type of passive transport in which molecules are taken into or out of the cells with the help of transport proteins present in cell membrane. There is no expenditure of energy in this process. What is Golgi apparatus? ANS. There are set of flattened sacs, cisternae, that are stacked over each other in plant and animal cells. It modifies molecules coming from rough ER and packs them into small membrane-bound sacs. These sacs can be transported to various locations in the cell or to its exterior in the form of secretions. Italian physician Camillo Golgi discovered these organelles. Define isotonic solutions. NS. Isotonic solutions have equal concentrations of solutes. Define hypertonic and hypotonic solutions. ANS. Those solutions which have relatively more solute are hypertonic solutions. Those solutions which have relatively less solute are called hypotonic solutions. What are leucoplasts? NS. Leucoplasts are a type of plastids. They are colorless and store starch, proteins, and lipids. They are present in the cells of those parts where food is stored. Define lysosomes. Give their function. ANS. These are single membrane bounded organelles. Lysosomes contain strong digestive enzymes and work for the breakdown, digestion, of food and waste materials within the cell. What is mitochondria? NS. Mitochondria is the double membrane bounded structures found only in eukaryotes. These are the sites of aerobic respiration and are the major energy production centers. Describe the structure of muscle tissue. NS. Muscle tissue consists of bundles of long cells called muscle fibers. It is the most abundant tissue in a typical animal cell. The cells of this tissue have ability to contract. Describe the structure of nucleus. ANS. It is the most important organelle of eukaryotic cells. In animal cells, it is present in the center, while in a mature plant cells, due to formation of large central vacuole, it is pushed to side. The nucleus is bounded by a double membrane known as nuclear envelope. Inside the nuclear envelope, a granular matrix, the nucleoplasm, 1 or 2 nucleoli and chromosomes are present. Nucleus controls all activities of cell. Define an organelle. ANS. These are the small structures found within the living cells that perform specific functions, e.g. mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi bodies. Nucleus are found in eukaryotic cell. What is exocytosis? ANS. It is the process through which bulky material is exported. This process adds new membrane which replaces the part of cell membrane lost during endocytosis. Define passive transport. ANS. It is a type transport in which a cell does not spend energy when molecules moves across its membrane from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Define phagocytosis and pinocytosis. As phagocytosis is a form of endocytosis in which cell takes in solid material. Pinocytosis is a form of endocytosis in which cell takes in liquid in the form of droplets. What is plasmolysis? ANS. In a hypertonic environment, a plant cell loses water, causing the cytoplasm to shrink within the cell wall. The shrinking of cytoplasm is called plasmolysis. What are plastids? NS. Plastids are membrane-bounded organelles that only occur in plants and photosynthetic protists, algae. They are of 3 types, i.e. chloroplasts, leucoplasts, and chromoplasts. Chloroplasts are the sites of photosynthesis, while chromoplasts help in pollination and dispersal of fruits, and leucoplasts help in storage. What are ribosomes? NS. Ribosomes are tiny granular structures that are either floating freely in the cytoplasm or are bound to the endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are the sites of protein synthesis. Define semipermeable membrane. ANS. It is a membrane which allows a very few molecules across it while fencing the majority of chemicals inside the cell. Define tissue. ANS. A group of cells specialized for the performance of a common function is called a tissue. Define turgor pressure. ANS. When cell is placed in a hypotonic environment, water is entered in the cell and makes the cell rigid. The internal pressure of such a rigid cell on the cell wall by the water is known as turgor pressure, and this phenomenon is known as turgor. Define vacuole. NS. Vacuoles are fluid-filled single membrane-bound organelles. They are of different types. They help to digest the material with the help of lysosomes and elimination of wastes from bodies. Define microfilament and microtubule. NS. Microfilament is one of the most important filament that make up the cytoskeleton. It is made of actin subunits. These are often used by cells to change their shapes and to hold structures. Microtubule is another most important filament that make up the cytoskeleton. It is made of tubulin subunits and are often used by cells to hold their shape. Cell work as an open system. ANS. Cell takes in substances needed for its metabolic activities through its cell membrane. Then it performs metabolic processes assigned to it. Products and byproducts are formed in metabolism. Cell either utilizes the products or transports them to other cells. The byproducts are either stored or are excreted out of cell. Define filtration. ANS. Filtration is a process by which small molecules are forced to move across semi-permeable membrane with aid of hydrostatic pressure or blood pressure. Define reverse osmosis. ANS. In advanced water treatment technologies, membrane-based filtration systems are used. In this process, semi-permeable membranes separate salts from water called as reverse osmosis. Define nuclid. ANS. Prokaryotic cells do not have prominent nucleus. Their chromosome consists of DNA and floats in cytoplasm near center. This region is called nuclid. Why is a colony of cell not always a tissue? ANS. In a colony of cells there are many cells and each cell performs all general functions on its own. Such a group does not get level of organization because cells are not specific and there is no coordination among them. Differentiate B/W primary and secondary cell wall. NS primary cell wall, outer layer of plant cell wall is not as primary wall. Cellulose is the most common chemical in it. Secondary cell wall, on the inner side of primary wall, plants have secondary wall. Secondary wall is much thicker and contains lignin and some other chemicals. Enlist functions of xylem and phloem tissues. NS. Xylem is responsible for transport of water and dissolved substances from roots to aerial parts. Phloem is responsible for conduction of dissolved organic matter, food, between different parts of plant body. What is the difference between apical and lateral meristems? Apical meristem. Apical meristem are located at the apices of roots and shoots. When they divide, they cause increase in length of plant. Such growth is called primary growth. Lateral meristem. Lateral meristem are located on the lateral sides of roots and shoots. By dividing they cause increase in growth of plant parts. Such growth is called secondary growth. Define intercalary meristems. NS. Intercalary meristem is in the form of small patches among the mature tissues. These are common in grasses and help in the regeneration of parts removed by herbivores. Differentiate between chromosomes and chromatin. NS. Chromosomes are visible only during cell division, while during interphase, non-dividing phase, of cell they are in the form of fine thread-like structures known as chromatin. When can parenchyma cells develop ability of divide and differentiate into other types of cells? NS. Parenchyma cells have ability to divide and differentiate into other types of cells during process of repairing an injury.